Right, okay, so welcome back to Champion Football Show. I don't even know what episode that is, episode 6, 7, something like that. 7? Yeah. Okay, well, busy show today. We've got midweek fixtures from NPL 2 last week, weekend games from all fixtures, then midweek fixtures from last night and Tuesday, and then the games coming up. So it's Chaz and I here today, and today's guest is a Rockdale player who has said he won't even bother turning up to work hard unless he's given a big bag of dough every week. No, it's not Baker, Alec Yarosevsky, it's wide man Antoniou. How are you?
That's a stitch up.
That was a joke, mate. I just had contract negotiation talks went well, so I thought I'd throw it in there.
How are you, mate? You well?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good.
Good, mate. I'm actually pretty hot in here, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
Sweat wet.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
How's the legs after last night?
Yeah. I mean, those...
Keep it 90?
No, 60.
You go 60.
Came off a bit of a groin pinch, but those
No, when you come off on it?
No. I think it was actually 2-0, 2 assists. Something like that. I don't know the exact
commentator
stats.
says Euro got a second assist.
So does Euro.
Had to be one.
Okay, cool, mate. Class, do I get cracking with?
Yeah, mate. So obviously just season starting, we're 4 games in. How's it been at Rockdale? Obviously the results have been pretty good. Like how are the boys? How's the morale in the dressing room? Positive?
Yeah, I mean morale's high. It's actually funny. We got wiped with COVID the week before the season started. So I actually thought that we'd take a while to get going just because a lot of boys got hit with it. But
yeah,
seemed to have been alright. Managed our way through the pretty tough 3 fixtures, and you can see, like, I think last night we played really well. Yeah. We controlled that game probably 95% of it. So it's been good. Morale's high. Coaches are good. Players are good. Can't complain.
What was one thing I was going to ask you about was just out of curiosity. Last year, obviously, just got picked at the end, but you didn't have a great defensive record last year, did you?
No.
What if you signed new players, changed system for this year?
So I think midway through last year, we brought in DC from Blacktown.
Yeah.
Who's a big body, loud leader, sort of at the back, which I think helped a lot. And then this year we signed G Speranza. And his brother came with it, but G scored last night, and that's what we put up with Robbie for. No, but we did. We signed where we needed to sign. Yeah. We brought Blakey back.
Yeah, that's right.
In the midfield. No, he's injured. He's a couple of weeks. So I think the coaches did a good job of fixing what we needed to fix.
Head too big, tilting over.
But they complemented the squad well.
Aye, good. It looked like you said well off the. Like from on the paper anyway, it looked like he's saying decent this year.
Yeah, we actually lost Mudi Najar.
Yeah, that's right. He trained with us most of last year.
Yeah.
Just until he was just keeping himself ticking over.
Tidy player. We lost him to Korea. But it is what it is. What can you do?
Yeah.
Got a good offer. So that hurt a week or 2 before the season. But apart from that, the rest of the boys we signed were also pretty good, pretty well known as well.
So obviously you said that Blake's came in injured last night. Have you got good depth within the squad now too?
Blake didn't start, but
no, he wasn't starting. He hasn't started yet. So we do have good depth. I think our midfield actually, we've got about 5, 6 probably competing there, and every one of them could be a starter.
Yeah, good.
So it is. It's very competitive.
So the standards high at training, obviously people down to play.
Yeah, good. I think everyone's on alert.
Yeah.
You need that.
You do need that.
Adrian was talking about it on the podcast, saying that the year they got to they done the FFA Cup run, said that was the difference, was the depth. The squad was just competitive all the time, and everyone just wanted to get, naturally, as you'd imagine it. I mean,
it gets tricky, doesn't it? Because I think last year we had 7 players leave.
Who
it's a depth. Karis left, Will Much left, Petkovsky was captain left, Kalevsky left. We had a French Loic Puyo from the A-League. He left for personal reasons, wasn't more a rotation thing. But we had a lot of players leave looking for more game time, and it hurts the squad.
A hard balance to get.
It is a hard balance.
It's alright when I suppose last year you used to be winners, and it's easy when you're winning, but you won most games last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we probably surprised ourselves last year because obviously Deza, Stav and Veds was their first year in.
Yeah.
So they didn't really they couldn't implement their full system, sort of a 2-year sort of project, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we were winning games and were competitive right throughout. We probably got unlucky in the end. Nothing away from Apia, they were great all year. But we probably got unlucky to not go on with it. Sydney United 3 up, and we drew 3-3. Sydney FC last minute.
Yeah. Was that the goal that effectively done you?
Yeah, that was. We still think he was offside. Is what it is. But yeah, that was the game that did us because you guys actually beat Apia.
And it was Skikeres that scored.
Yeah. was that his only goal?
You're third year at the club, is that right?
Nah, fifth or sixth year at the club.
Shocking.
Jesus Christ, that's
Yeah, so I was
One
like
job.
17, 18, left.
Oh, that's what I mean, third year in this block.
21, 22, 23, 24, fourth year.
Oh, I was close. Four's better than six.
In a row, but
Two chances to redeem yourself.
yeah.
But as I was just saying off camera there, so potentially 100 appearances this year.
Yeah.
If you stay fit and get through.
Yeah. Pretty proud of achievement for me.
That's quality, mate. Brilliant.
I've loved the club. I like to think they like me too.
Yep.
In an ideal world, I'd just love to stay there for the rest of my time in the NPL 1 and be loyal to the club and perform for them. So I'm quite happy to be near that milestone. I'd like to know which game it is. Did you guys do that for me? Or
Well, it depends if you stay fit, mate.
how many was it off?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you played 18 or 19 in 2018. I think 19, and you played 64, I think. So that's 17 games left, roughly, give or take.
In and out of all these COVID games and all that, or were they into account?
I don't know, mate. It's a Wikipedia stat.
So I could be there.
You could do that. Look at training matches and that sort of well.
I do like those qualifying cup matches. I seem to score in those a
What
lot.
was the qualifying cup matches?
You know, you've got to qualify for the FFA Cup.
Oh, right, aye. You know,
I seem to score in those, but
Is that the
they
only
don't
time you
matter.
score?
Huh?
Is that the only time you score?
Yeah.
in Rockdale, in your squad, do you use count, as in like within the squad, do you use count cup goals?
I do.
That's usually when Richie Darko and I can't remember who it was, a couple of other boys, they were debating whether or not you count cup goals. I said a goal's a goal sort of thing. I understand top league scorer, but for me, but then they were saying, well, what happens if you get like an association team in round 4 and you win 15-0?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right?
Goals a goal.
Goals a goal.
Goals a goal.
So we had a game where I scored, I think, about 4 or 5 against Prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets sort of wiped from memory. But then in the same time, back in...
Prospect on an NPL side.
Yeah?
We were talking about them last week.
Sorry.
Sorry, Prospect.
But then we had a draw in 2018 where we drew Blacktown, Sydney United. I scored in both those fixtures, so like I like to think they counted for something.
Of course, aye.
Yeah.
So it's give or take.
Yeah, because you can't count some and not count the
I'm
others.
saying if you get to the FA Cup quarter-finals and you play Sydney FC and you score the winner, nah, it doesn't count, mate.
So Wikipedia says X amount, but it could be.
It could be 1 or 2 more
Yeah.
based on your averages.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's pretty much, I think that's all I wanted to touch about for Blade Rockdale. We're pretty much across what you're doing this season. Early doors, top of the league actually.
Yes, top
Yeah,
of the league.
as of last night, yeah.
Oh, not according to Chaz's stats.
I know it's got a second.
man.
Yeah.
5 minutes in and I'm getting slaughtered.
Yeah, top of the league, I believe you're Utd Marconi, both on 10 from last night's results, which is a decent start. If looking at the top 6 from memory, I don't think it's going to look too much different come the end of the year. I think the only difference, I think it's you guys, Marconi, Blacktown City, Wollongong Wolves, St George City, and I can't remember who the 6th team is. But I don't think it's going to be too much different from that.
I think a lot of people had Olympic in their top 6 to start the year, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically those top clubs are who was probably predicted to be up there.
Just wait then.
No, it's just, it wasn't on airplane mode, my thingy. My watch vibrator.
Is it still playing?
Aye, it's still playing. Sorry, Chad.
So Otto had Olympic, and no, I agree, and myself included, when I seen the people, like looking at your team, who you signed, looking at Olympic, who they signed, I thought, they look strong. And it's still early doors, but...
It's very early doors and it's no champions are being crowned in round 5.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, 5 as we're concerned, good start for the season.
That's all you can do, mate, innit?
Yeah.
It's on early doors, it's tight, but I mean, after this weekend, a couple of results go a different way, and it's sandwiched up again.
Exactly right, isn't it?
Speaking of the games, looking back to last weekend's game, so you were playing against Western Sydney Wanderers. I mean, on paper, 3-2 tight score, but from the highlights it looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I think it was pretty comfortable for us. I think we turned up well. It was again, Sunday, 32 degrees, something like that, out in Rudy Hill.
Yeah.
They dropped quite a few of their
A-League boys.
Yeah, A-League boys, but we actually played them in a friendly the week before the season opened.
Yeah.
And they put about 9 of their
A-League
A-League fringe
What's the score?
in that 11. We beat them 4-3.
Okay, nice.
So we're pretty confident to do it again.
Yeah.
And I think we just wanted it a bit more. And you know how it is with those younger teams. you match their physicality early, or well, probably not physicality. We bring the physical match, and you match their fitness and intensity early, and
100%.
you get on top of them, and you just sort of manage your way through it.
Yeah, because you almost get in a shell sometimes when it does become too physical.
Yeah.
Because you've got a lot of experienced players, do you know what I mean? So they can manhandle a few of the younger boys.
Well, that's what I think we lacked last year to see out some games that we have this year.
Yeah, okay.
Is a bit more experience to finish off a game and depth off the bench to come on and see it out the last.
Who's your super sub? Who's the man off the bench to make a difference?
I think it depends who's starting, doesn't it? Well, at the moment, like we had Rashudo come on.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's huge.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a midfielder playing 70 minutes and see Blakey on the sideline come on?
100%.
Yeah, it's a shift.
But we've got a Jap boy too. You probably haven't seen much of him yet, but he's tidy and he runs for days and comes on in the midfield.
Yeah.
Even the last 2 games, G Speranza was one of the boys that came on. So
yeah, decent. Scored last night.
Yeah. Again, wise experience and something you can't teach, and it's so valuable.
Yeah.
Last 20 minutes of a game.
That can be the difference, you know. There's a lot of goals in NPL the last 20 minutes of games, isn't there?
It's funny, this is completely off track here, right? But I was listening to a podcast and it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talking about that exact thing.
It was in that stick to
Stick to
football.
football, aye, and it was basically saying that the mindset of a sub is, can you impact it? Like, because obviously you get people, as you say, that aren't happy sitting on the bench, but when you do, can you impact it? Because those are the 2, 3, 4, 5 points that at the end of the season are invaluable that you're getting from the subs coming off the bench.
He was a king of substitutes.
Champions League final.
Do you know what I just forgot to mention, by the way, in case anyone's watching this on YouTube? Look at the stickers with the same t-shirts on.
I know, man.
Oh, not the same t-shirts.
But close enough, man.
Close enough, man. I quite like it. Like paint on decorators.
I wouldn't mind one of those. What is it?
False 9 threads. False 9 threads.
Hit me up.
B. Antonio's looking for a top, mate. But, do you know what? I actually asked, so Matthew Kudo, who plays with in the West Hawks, he runs it with his mate. I was actually saying it'd be class if you actually got an NPL player on here, whoever gets top goal scorer, stick him on there. Or a player, if anyone's got cool celebrations, fire him on there. Oh, I've seen Euro started doing the dark.
I'm not wearing Euro.
Nah. You've got a poster of when you're on the bed.
Yeah, that's from my wedding though.
No, I think it'd be cool to do something like that. But anyway, I'll speak to Matt and see if he can sort you out, mate. But the cracking tops they've got.
Nice quality.
Maradona,
nice quality.
It's good fit as well, Pele, Maradona, Beckham, Gerrard,
Zidane.
Wouldn't mind an Henri Nayslide sort of.
Mate, I don't know what they've got. Mate, on their website they've got loads of different ones. Give them some good airtime, getting false 9 threads, but worth a look. They've helped us out, to be fair, on the podcast since we've started, so definitely give them a mention. Okay, back to the games. Looking at, the biggest shock, Olympic United. That was a mental game. I mean, the first 25 minutes from the highlights looked fairly even.
Yeah.
And then it just went like set piece central, and the goalkeeper didn't know if he was going for a shite or a haircut. Didn't know what was going on. He was all over the shop.
Am I right in saying that that's
Gaffer's son?
It's hard. 6-0 is an absolute doing. Like at any level of football, it's an absolute trouncing.
Sydney United probably more so being notoriously big club, and then next year, looking ahead to next year, you'd think got a lot. I don't know what's happening there. That was one of my questions: is what's happening to United? We played them on Tuesday. By no means were they shut. Actually, we were pretty good first half. We didn't play great first half, but even the second half, like we put a lot of pressure on them, and I did feel like if we played another 5 minutes, we were going to score. It was like just in a matter of time before it came, and the game finished. You could tell a bit of heat for the fans.
Yeah.
In fact, our players obviously were naturally disappointed not to get. They'd like to think they could probably come to Spirit and get a result off us, but yeah, especially after 6-0, you'd think they'd want to bounce back.
What's your take on City United?
They're in a bit of a shuffle, aren't they?
Yeah, they lost
a bit of experience and they brought some young boys in, so I think it's going to take some time for them to.
Yeah, they've got good players. Gel. That's the thing. They've got good players.
Well, that was Paddy Antonio red card.
He was missing again, and so
that's huge. That's huge for them.
He was missing, and they brought off Hatch off the bench as well. But as I said, they've got good players.
Yeah, they do.
I just think, as you said, it's just that they just didn't seem right for the team. Well, I've only been involved in NPL once since last year, but it didn't seem right the team that you'd imagine. The team who went to the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they go. But like we said, they could win the next 2 games.
And
it's all for
it's all for it.
100%.
To be fair, last year we got whacked by Apia.
So you did
round 2, 6-0.
So you did that.
Oh wow.
Best thing that happened to us.
Kick up the arse.
Best kick up the arse.
Well, that's what I thought Sydney United against us on Tuesday when they came out all guns blazing and they
Yeah.
prepared for that. And I think they started fairly brightly, but in the second half they didn't. I don't know if because they were leading 1-0, they just maybe changed the way they played or whatever, or we came out better. But yeah, they needed whatever happens. They've played 4 games, 4 points, and won 1 game. That was against Mariners.
Yeah.
And that was when Antelmi with a pen.
Antelmi scored.
Since Antelmi's been missing, they've not won a game.
Yeah, he's huge for them.
Yes, of course he is. He's a great player.
He's their goal scorer, their leader up the front. All changes. I was at a wedding with Adrian.
Oh yeah.
And he was sort of telling me, like, if he's off, I don't know that the replacement's really there. It's almost like Rockdale. You rely so heavily on Euro.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a 9 backup willingly sit on the bench.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of. It's a bit of a.
If you try and say a good 9, they'll be like, well, you've got Euro, mate. What's the chance of me playing?
Exactly.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I think that's probably again a difference from last year when they had Chris Payne as well. Did the two?
Yeah.
Could go in and
You wouldn't
replace
feel
the
that.
former signing.
You wouldn't feel that red card as much, would you?
Nah. What about Olympic on the other side of things? I mean, poor start, great win, and then drop points again to Marconi last night.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they got a rubbish right back in Will Much.
I actually thought the Marconi keeper was brilliant.
Last night, the first 25 minutes, 30 minutes,
very good man.
Olympic probably should have took the
Yeah,
win.
I haven't seen much of it. Obviously, we were playing.
Yeah, of course.
But I probably expected a better start from Olympic just based on who they signed.
Yeah.
They took Casella from us, Aiden Majok.
Yeah.
He's a tidy player. He came back from, I think it was in Cyprus or not. So
Tunis.
they signed some who?
Tunis.
I don't know who he is, but they signed some boys that you think.
Cole scored 2, didn't he?
Yeah. Sent him out. They put him on the wing in the team of the week.
Aye.
I mean,
that was the theory of week formation was bizarre.
3-3-4. 3-3-4 it was, I think.
I think it was 3-3-4.
3-3-4.
Aye, but anyway, I thought the Olympic, when I seen the section, I thought, right,
That's
found
it.
their feet,
Training
here
point.
we go. Don't get it wrong, it's hard to go to Marconi, hard to play Marconi. I know they're at home. I think they played 4 home games. Have they?
Client fixture, isn't it?
Yeah, 4-4.
But as a kind of start to the season, that. And they picked up Chaz's stats that gave us 1-1. Is that right?
Well, that will be one after, because it was
I lost it
last night.
So we'll see how they go. I still fancy it to be in the playoffs, to be honest, in the top 6 by the end of the season, if they've got a bit of depth about them. Who else did we look at and figuring into every single game?
Just thought that the Central Coast Mariners and House 5-3.
Was it a bit of a ding dong on it?
It was Central Coast only had 1 shot on target in the first half.
We just got a half time.
1-0.
Who's won the 5? The Central Coast won?
It was 1-5-3,
5-3.
Good half-time talk.
It was at Plym Park.
It was at Plym Park.
So it was 1-0 at half time,
1-0
it was
at half time,
5-3.
finished 5-3.
Off these, well, there was hard place to go. We mentioned that before. Plym Park's hard to go. Same as Manly, hard place to go. A lot of teams trip up there. But Central Coast had a couple of home games as well. They played Sydney Olympic at home, didn't they? Oh, Sydney United at home.
Aye.
Well, apart from that, we played against Marconi. Spirit played Marconi. That was a interesting game, mainly for my favourite moment of the weekend, which we spoke about before this, number 21 from Marconi. I don't know who number 21 from Marconi is, but if you've not seen the highlight, they get a deserved penalty in the 94th minute. Timakowski, is that his name? Timakowski tucks it away. Has a wee bit of a banter with Chris, celebrates in front of him, and then number 21, the what's his name, the Wellstone Raider. You want some? You got no friends? He walks up to Chris and shoves Chris behind Chris Marks behind his back, and then Chris does a wee reaction, and the wee guy jumps like shakes himself, jumps behind his mates. But I heard through the grapevine that a lot of Marconi boys were giving him a tight for it. But if you've seen that, it's worth a watch because it was typical of like football, hard man, brilliant stuff, man. But that was a good game as well. Spirit came out, played pretty well. Marconi, Castaner scored a direct corner right before half time. Fairly even first half, I'd say we probably were the better team. Second half was a bit of a nothing, and then we equalised and then they nicked it in the 94th minute. So similar to last night, Marconi, late goal, but was it 80th minute last night? 70th minute? Yes,
No, I think it was a wee bit early, but 70th.
That was a great free kick.
That was a good free kick, man.
Great free kick. Between that and McCarthy so far, 2 best goals, I think.
Euro scored a bomb against them.
Oh, that was a cracker. I think you mentioned that against Wanderers. Oh, that's a bomb, aye. That's a cracker. What's the script with this new celebration he's doing? The old Madison?
I think he's got a personal thing with one of the other boys.
What, in the team?
No, he used to be in the team, Jake Trajov, down at Preston Lions.
Right, okay.
I think he's messaging him weekly for a celebration, and Jake's responding and Euro's doing it. So it's a bit of
is
banter
it?
between the two of them.
Oh, that's
It's
quite
not
good.
bad,
So he just
actually.
sends them any silly and they'll do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That like
He did one last night too. I don't know which one. I think it might have been Sun or something. The little.
I saw him running away doing something, but you can't see. That's quite good.
That's decent banter. That. Okay, cool.
I liked Eddie Casper scored a great goal as well for RP against Manly. Picked the ball up, beat two players, played a 1-2 that took 3 players out of the game.
And then close range.
Great goal, man.
I ghosted past them. Hey! Anyway, let's go to NPL 2. There's too many games to go through everyone number one, so let's go.
I went with the midweek fixtures, the only one that I've went. So these are the weekend's games, but the only one we'll talk about midweek fixtures is this one. Rockdale Lions 5-4. And Lions were 3-0 up, then 4-2 up, and Rockdale scored 3. The last one coming in the 98th minute, man, to win 5-4.
That is typical. That's like
That's
top
mental.
class midweek football.
Aye.
9 goals, 3-0
3-0 up.
That's stinking, man.
That's hard, aye.
Do you know anyone from the Lions?
Yeah, JT, their coach, he was my school teacher.
Oh, great guy, man.
Nico Paris, my groomsman.
Okay.
So
I love John Theo.
we had a lunch. I had a lunch with Nico last week. Yeah. I think it was after this game.
What was he saying?
It's like, man, we won the game twice. 3-0, then
4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
We've won it twice, and they did the same thing against you guys. He said.
Yeah, they're 1-0 up against us.
They let it slip in the dying stages.
We were last kick of the ball.
Yeah.
To go 2-1, aye.
I don't know what's going on there because they got a pretty good squad.
Where are they?
They're not the fittest.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, not with Nico in it.
Yeah, 100%. He comes on 20 minutes to go, scores a free kick,
Free
walks
kick
back
specialist.
off, man.
That's what we call it. With the cafe near us, we walk in free kick specialist.
That's it, man.
Where are they in this league? You printed off 2023?
Oh, I couldn't have printed off 2023.
Chaz, your stats have been shambolic. There's an Lions in the league.
That's bizarre. You know, I literally just got it on the internet.
What do you mean? There's 16 teams.
Chaz has got him relegated.
Chaz has printed off the NPL 2 leagues in the league, they're not even on. Somebody must have won it twice.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
This must be a different Northbridge, but MacArthur's
Bulls. So that's alright. So I've looked at the first and thought, alright, that makes sense.
Somebody must have won it twice, mate.
Who?
I don't know, I'm not going through that.
Is it 16 teams in the league?
16 teams in the league. Your stats speech. Got base stats wrong, got the league table wrong, got Blacktown top wrong.
That's not bad.
I'll let you try and figure that out and me and Bale talk about the football.
On you go.
Are these the weekend results? Anyone in NPL 2 that you fancy, know about? Do you want to know about for NPL 2? Every NPL 1 we spoke about?
I was a bit surprised. We beat Mount Druitt in a friendly 6-0 or something. They were just miles off. But they've come into the NPL 2, haven't they? And
done really well.
Done really well.
Conceded 1 goal.
Yeah, I was about to say they're pretty neat at the back, and they seem to be winning their game. So that surprised me a bit. The start they had.
Yep.
I expected Spartans. I heard rumours that Spartans have signed some players.
Yeah.
They had Raji who used to be with us.
Yeah.
Raji in the midfield. So I thought they'd be doing well. I don't know if they are.
They're sitting.
Did they win?
Yeah, they're 50.
Oh,
They beat
there you
Bonnie.
Yeah.
They've had a wee bit of an indifferent start. Who knows where they are in the league looking at this thing?
Well, that's according to my own
They're in
stats.
NPL 3 in Chaz's table.
The main talking point for MPL 2 is Bankstown, isn't it?
Mate,
Oh, they won at the weekend.
I backed them every week. Last week didn't back them and they won.
Yeah, because we have this thing every pre-season, Masso Cup.
That's what you do.
Oh, they won it, didn't they?
They won it.
Yeah.
They won it.
Did you play
We didn't play them. We just lost them.
Who beat us?
The Masso Cup's 20-minute halves,
Right, okay.
and we drew the first game, won the second, and we lost to Broadmeadow in Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think we sort of just thought we're going to cruise through.
Yeah.
Bit of a wake up. But they went the whole thing and won it all. And so you thought the rumours on them were going to be true and they were going to start strong. But
Pre-season's tricky. We've spoken about this a few times. Pre-season's tricky.
nothing to go off, isn't it?
Never is.
It always is. I scored 6 goals in pre-season.
Pre-season cup.
Zero so far from 4. But
Early doors, mate, early doors.
yeah.
Do you know what? I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out. I don't know who
It's like, well,
what
we've
teams
still
in it
got
twice, man.
so many games to cover, so I'm not going to spend too long on that. Right, Bills and Mount Druitt. Chaz is our NPL 2 correspondent, or he was until his
Until this.
But he was saying basically at the start of the season, the first few games was a lot of goals scored, and now it looks like teams are starting to settle in terms of like who's like Mount Druitt look like they're going to be up there. But MacArthur Bills more than likely going to be up there.
Yeah, so you've got like, it was like 3 3s, 2 2s, 5 4s, 4 3s the first 3 weeks, but weekend just passed, I think the biggest scoreline was 2-0, I think. No, it was besides, Spartans beat Bonnyrigg 4-0, which was a shock in fairness, because at the start of the season you'd have tipped Bonnyrigg to be competitive. Obviously it's early bells, but they've not started great, and you'd expect a tougher game than a 4-0 at Spartans, but besides that it was all 1-0s and 2-0s. So I think everyone's just kind of settling into how they're going to play now moving forward.
Do you know anyone at Bonnyrigg?
No.
No.
No. I don't know. Maybe
Funny,
if you showed me
funny how they went, like, cause
it's just
big club just fell slowly but surely away down the pecking order.
To be honest, I hope they don't come up, because their field is
it's
stinking, isn't it?
So
Until that
bad.
gets sorted, stay in the NPL.
I mean, we played them, I don't know, a couple of years ago in NPL 2. I was like to the gaffer, "We'll be warming up, mate." He's like, "Oh, you just..."
We're in the
He just pointed to the dirt and the abyss. He's like, "That way, mate." And I'm like, "Right, no worries." Stand on a little 5-a-side, 7-a-side grass pitch or whatever it is. And he's like, "No, back one more." I'm like, "That's like a cow paddock, mate." He's like, "Yep," and it's just like one security light.
You can't see
So
it.
then
Go through the car park, down across the gutter,
And the gaffer's like, "Nah,
into the far corner."
Sorry, they'll do the same." And then it gets like twitch for kick off. I'm like, "I don't think they're coming down here, by the way." And then, "By the way, guys, they're warming up on the pitch." You're kidding me on. So we done a quick reshuffle, got changed, and whilst they were up, we just been ready and ran on the pitch, and their directors are like, "Get off!" We just all bombed past them, and to be fair to the referee's like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "Well, they made us warm up down there. They're on the pitch. We just want to get a touch of the ball on the pitch." And the referee delayed the game 5 minutes for us so we could get a touch of the ball, which is decent. We scored the 95th minute to win 1-0.
Oh.
Brilliant.
That's good.
And then we went for showers after it, and like, one of the boys was like, "There's only cold water in here." And the guy's like, "There's no hot water." I come out of the changing room and said that steam. All good. Wasn't doing the ironing or something.
I don't mind that, to be fair.
I don't mind that either. I think it's brilliant, man. Good laugh.
So that's it. It's all calmed down. Bulls and Mount Druitt are both 4 from 4. Tigers and Alcoa haven't lost either.
So who's top right now? Bulls?
Bulls, and Mount Druitt have obviously 12 points each.
Is this like?
That's right, aye.
There's an alliance in this league. You figured that out.
It's like, look, so I'm trying to figure out what team's in twice.
There must be a team for NPL 3 you're putting in, mate.
No, but I literally went on the internet and printed this off from
it's
an internet
fault, is
page.
it?
Well, I'm blaming the internet, it's not my fault.
You're an NPL 2 correspondent, mate.
So then, MacArthur Rams, it looks like it could be a bit of a tough season for them. They've not scored yet in 4 games.
Oh, that's rough.
They've 1 point, they drew 1 game, not an
Who they
each.
played though?
At the weekend they played Alcoa.
Right.
They've played Bulls. I don't know what the other 2 games have been, off the top of my head.
Cool, that's that. NPL 3, I mean, this is a tough one for us all. I don't think we've had many people. We actually need to get an NPL 3 guest on.
We've got one next week. Is it next week?
Get one from Prospect.
Got one. Mate,
you send them my way.
send one of your contacts. Who's for next week?
Alan McKee.
Oh, Alan McKee's coming.
Alan McKee's at Mounties.
Okay, sweet. Are they NPL? They're comfortable. They should win that, eh?
You'd think so.
Newcastle Jets have got there as well.
They also got a boy from, was it Rockdale last year, UK, Japanese boy,
Right.
who scored 7 goals in the first 4 games.
Is he?
Aye.
Who's here last year?
Rockdale.
Was he good for you?
He was alright. I think that he had a bit of a hard time. We didn't play in a very structured way, let's say, but he was technically very good.
A Japanese
He made make runs, but no one saw his runs, and do you know that way? So he would almost get, people would look at him as not doing anything for the team, but it was because we weren't keeping up to how he was thinking.
7 goals in 4. I think he's a striker. Aye. Fair play. Not bad that. Anyone? You don't know anyone from NPL 3, do you? No. NPL 1 snobbery to NPL 3 is disgusting.
That's terrible, man.
Ask Richard. Did you listen to Richard's episode? We done a quiz on him, asking him like about NPL 3, NPL 2. He literally was
no idea.
No idea who any team
Maybe
was.
by face and stuff, but
But he didn't even know who the teams were.
no, I know the team.
The only team you know is Prospect, mate.
Prospect.
Parramatta, Camden, both missed penalties.
Both missed a penalty. Parramatta 1-3-2.
Keeper saved.
Aye.
Right.
Both of them keeper saved.
Who hits your pens? Oh, you don't
Euro.
miss him. Has he missed any? The years times you've been?
Yeah, he's missed 2, but they could back to him goal.
Of course.
No,
Obviously.
Tom
mentioned about no way they scored 2 again.
No, 1 each, and another boy scored 2 goals.
No, but they scored.
They won 4-2.
Mate, I'm telling you, their goal machine's Granville Ridge.
I tell you, I do know Nikola Todorovsky.
Yeah. Oh, they.
I forgot. There you go.
He's a goal scorer. He scored every week. Every week, Gary picks Granville Rage to win.
Just because, I get told 4 games ago when it started, oh, by the way, Todorovsky and Tomic signed for Rage. I'm like, I fancy them. Pumped 8-2. Next week, I'll go with Rage again. Pumped 4-2. Next week, I'll go with them again. Get beat again. But they keep scoring goals.
Aye, but he keeps, Todorovsky keeps scoring goals.
Good on the lads.
Fraser Park as well, yeah, it's quite a decent result. That's it, South Coast Flames are 4 from 4. The only team that's won 4 games.
I'll say Stanmore Hawks up there, go the Cypriots.
Yeah, they're 4th just now. That's the best start I reckon Stanmore have.
Well, that's your man for False Line Threads, he plays for them.
Oh yeah?
I support them, mate.
No, my grandfather was the president for years.
Was he?
Yeah, so close to my heart, that club. I played like under 12s or something there. I'd like to see him do well. I won't play for him, but I'd like to see him do well.
Why wouldn't you play for them?
Nah, come on, man.
What do you mean, come on, man?
Nah.
How come? Maybe
They're not that tasty, they might score.
Maybe I will play for
This prospect.
Maybe my grandfather comes back in.
Okay, right, we've got more games. Last night's game's probably the biggest talking point. Obviously, last night's games. We've touched on them a little bit already. Have you both seen all the highlights? I've not seen every highlight. I've seen most of them.
I've seen most of them.
Don't know if they're all up.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Obviously, your game. Probably best you give your opinion quickly on what you think your game went last night. I mean, Illingdon, both is a home game for both of you technically.
No, that's true. It's our home game.
Yeah, okay.
They're renting.
Okay.
They're renting.
That'll never be a home for them.
Let's get that right. Hey, you listen to St George, you get that right now.
You listen. You know what I mean? Like that's Rockdale, isn't it?
Rent is due, boys.
It's not St George London, is it? No, I think it's a good result for us. I think the game meant something to the club too, because obviously someone said to me it's like the closest 2 clubs in the NPL. It's a matter of home grounds, because they're like the other side of West Botany. Yeah, true. But like their actual St George Stadium is like West Botany Street as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's a bit of a welcoming to NPL 1, I guess, for us. It's good. Not much to say about it. I think we controlled it.
No, the highlights I like to play.
We bit of controversy about the penalty. Die for the penalty.
No comment. I don't know. I got a pretty big bruise on my shin.
I think that's one of your shots, isn't it?
I actually asked for the penalty. You snobbed me off. Nah, no chance. I'm not.
I don't think man. He's only misses it. Crack goal from Speranza.
Yeah, great goal. Right foot too.
Cracker. Oh, he's left-footed.
He's left-footed.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
A good finish from the young boy as well, the 4th one.
Yeah, good for him. Great finish.
Jason,
the boys got around him too. It's good.
Jason.
Tchaikovsky.
Jason, no done, mate. They doesn't even know your last name.
Because of Jace. I know
Jason.
Jace.
I should have said.
Jason.
No, fair play, great goal as well. Keeper made a bit of a howler of it, but great finish from a distance. Good win, I think. Solid win at home. Midweek games are always tough. St George beating Apia.
Yeah.
I've not seen that. Have you seen the highlights of that game?
I haven't seen the highlights, but St George, it's a tough place to go.
I saw the highlights. There was a bit. It wasn't
we on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There was not. I think there was 3 shots on target each or something over the course of the game, so it wasn't like there was loads of goal mouth action. So the highlights weren't great in terms of having an opinion of the game. Like both teams had created chances, shots, missed targets often. Free kick was a good goal. Cut back, and the boys just had it first time from the edge of the box and off the underside of the crossbar and bounced back out. Dominic Cox scored. But I just thought it was a big result for St George.
It's a big result. They've had a tough start to the season. They've had some hard games. How did you find St George when you played against them?
I think that fielding was tight. It's a tough place to go. I don't think you're going to get a good battle. You're not going to get a good football match there. I think we sort of expected that, and we went into that game and it was just a battle. It was exactly like you said. They're tough to beat there. They're a well-drilled side. They're pretty fit as well. They've got some good players. So it's a hard place to go get points.
I think they might sneak into the playoffs. I think they've got a lot of good players, got a bit of experience, signed quite well, and that home pitch is hard to play at. Yeah. They've got a lot going their way. I think they'll do alright.
Do you think that's that much of a surprise though? Like, I reckon that they.
I don't think
they expect to be in it.
I don't think it's a surprise, but I think considering Olympic and United weren't in it last year, and they was Wollongong Wolves, and they would probably all fancy themselves as just as much as St George would be. And Rockdale, Apia, Blacktown City, Marconi, probably most people are penciling you boys in there. There'd be 4 out of 6 already gone. So then you're looking at who's left, who's going to fill those 2 spots. St United haven't started great, Olympic haven't started great. St George City haven't started that great, but they've got points on the board from a very tough start. And then it's you see Wollongong Wolves have started very well.
They
They've had a tough
started
start as
well,
well. So I don't know. I think St George will definitely be in the mix for that top 6 spot. It'll be interesting to see. But who else was there? Marconi and Olympic. That was a big game. I think I was interested in that game purely because of Olympic, how they responded after the 6-0. First 25-30 minutes, keeper from Marconi, Jack Hilton, played very well. Couple of big chances, good saves, but some chances they should have probably buried as well. And then great finish from Maya.
Credit always to the goalkeeper.
Aye,
Always.
Maya scored a wee goal on the counter. Think the keeper, lobbed it to the keeper.
Yeah.
What do you think of the keeper for that one?
It's hard.
Oh, back to keeper again. Unbelievable.
He's made his decision. I think it was obviously the wrong decision. That's like for goalkeepers, all you do is you make your decision, and he made it and he committed to it, but it was the wrong one. Sometimes you're going to make the wrong decision.
So who's at fault?
Yeah, he was at fault.
There you go. Good finish, but to be fair, and probably the biggest talking. I mean, 2 big points. Yesic, which we touched on, great free kick, top bin, cracking free kick, and then the red card.
You know.
That was bad.
Was it a red? Ray?
Yeah. 6 weeks.
6 week ban.
They get him in the head.
But
One of those ones I was kept.
I can't believe the referee gave a yellow card.
Yeah.
I think that's actually quite bad.
But
it's a fly kick,
there, isn't he? He's right there.
It was a fly kick to the head, but like it was a terrible.
When he gave the red, I don't think Costanzo actually made any sort of appeal. He just walked off. It was like one of those ones he's done it and straight away like you bastard. I mistimed that. Didn't try to hit him. Just one of those one. And then a yellow card. But so what do you reckon? You'll get 2 games, wouldn't you, at least? Oh, it
depends what they.
But straight red is 2, isn't it?
Yeah. I know that violent conduct's automatically 4.
Well, and tell me got 4.
Yeah, so I got 4 last year for that exact thing, violent conduct.
Is that one of your shots?
Something like that, yeah. Smash me. No comment. I know that violent conduct's 4 weeks, so it depends what he writes on it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, there was no harm, sure, he didn't any harm trying to win the ball, but it was high.
I mean, you don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, no. And it was the last minute of the game, Olympic going for a
fatigue.
Goal. Tired and also a bit aggressive to try and get the ball back in the last minute. But good result for Marconi, big win. That's in 6 points in 2 games, 2 like late-ish goals, 194th, 170th. They'll be up there as always, and then.
Other scores, Barney, Blacktown, 1 each, 2 goals late on.
2 goals late on. We just watched that game actually recently.
Wolves convincing win against Sutherland Sharks.
You expect those to beat well.
Sutherland Sharks going to struggle? Or is it too early to say?
Young squad, very young boys. They're going to struggle.
The results have been not.
If they won it,
first of all, their pitch is stinking.
Yeah. Mate, see you doing the warm up on it and you're just past it. Literally bounces.
It's bouncing everywhere.
It's terrible, very poor. And to be fair, I find it quite funny because Sutherland, like last year especially, they tried to play, and then this year they do try and play at times. But how can you play on that pitch? You cannot play on that.
But they lost some good coaching in Pani and Demi.
No, 100% they did.
A couple of players went off too, I think, and I think Stammer's been injured. Who's
everything
relies on him.
If they don't have him, they'll struggle even more.
I think they're in for a season.
Yeah, it'll be close. I mean, it's sort of interesting that bottom half. The bottom half, because I think the top half.
Is it still playoffs and stuff this year? Is that
just same situation? But NPL 2, I don't know if anyone's even confirmed this. Has NPL 2 got top 6 as well? NPL 2 correspondent Chaz Chaz with your answer.
It's something else I don't fucking know today, man.
I don't know if NPL 2 have got playoffs. I know they've got a promotion relegation, so bottom. But one up, one down, and then second bottom.
Yeah, the thing is, we lose about 6 clubs next year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's the crack with? Obviously, you boys aren't going. What's the general?
I think we want to go. I think
you can reapply,
from a club's perspective, there's still some spots up for grabs. I think there's like 4 spots still.
Yeah,
and Rockdale want to be one.
Okay, I think it should be, man.
I'm just not sure about the fixtures, the layouts, what happens to the NPL.
I think that's... Well, do you know what, actually, this is actually a good mention. We've got a lad coming on, probably within the next week or so, who works part of the FFA, and there's a lot of rumours going about with the B League, and we don't even know if that's not even called the B League. He's going to come on and clear a few things up. So we're going to do like a wee special episode, and he said, because he's listened to a few episodes so far, and he's like, some of the rumours are just like nonsense. Yeah. It's like, well, things are reading online.
Well, that'll be good to get some clarity
on. So he said he's going to go through. He said he'll talk about point system, talk about NPL next year, talk about how it's all structured, and so I'm going to put a thing out on social media and say like any questions, like let's get clarity on it.
Yeah, well, what I'd have for him is what happens with those clubs. Like if Olympic and that stay in, is it the truth of under 23s playing in the NPL 1?
Yeah, okay.
Sort of a backup to the B League team.
And
if that's the case, that's nonsense.
I think so as well. And then you just got it's too much.
I think that's what to me that's what will be. That's what they'll look at happening.
Robin youth, because the youth will have to, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but to me they should just switch it because the B League's got nothing to play for 6 years or something, right?
There's no promotion. Well, that game we could be wrong with that.
We could be.
He's sitting there watching.
It could be the nonsense we're talking about.
Well, that's why I think it'll be good to get him on and get some clarity on, because then the conversations moving forward, the debates make more sense because we'll have actual facts. So we'll see how that goes. But that's good to know that you want to get involved, because that big club, good players. And if all these teams left and you are the only sort of bigger clubs left, I think you'd be fairly comfortable.
Well, that's right. So we've been competing up near the top for the past 4 or 5 years, and to be left behind would be a bit of a crappy go, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how we go with that, mate. Okay, cool, mate. Let's move away from the actual fixtures.
Let's talk about you, mate.
Talk about you.
Nonsense, this paperwork anyway.
As you're right, man.
Mate, so started at Sutherland. Were you how?
In terms of first grade?
So where did you start your football career, basically?
I sort of came through the ranks, like the Project 22.
Prospect. Started Prospect.
Stenwell Hawks. So I actually was Stenwell Hawks under 12s. If that's probably as low as we need to start. Then Project 22, and you remember all that sort of stuff.
No, I don't know that.
So Project 22 was like the Football New South Wales team back then, in hopes that Australia were going to get the World Cup in 2022.
Right.
So we put a team together, Project 22. That's what we were called. We played in we were 14s playing in the 15s of like the NPL.
Yeah.
From then on, NSWIS, which was the New South Wales Institute of Sport. Then I went to the AIS from there. Then Sydney FC from there, and Cyprus, Rockdale.
With the AIS, NSWIS AIS setup, obviously that doesn't happen anymore. Do you think that's something that that shouldn't have been scrapped?
100%.
Yeah, how come?
I think the learning curves in those facilities and what you need is massive.
Did you move to Canberra?
Yeah, I moved to Canberra. I moved to Canberra. We got homestayed.
How long for?
Out with about 15 months I was there. We got homestayed out with just a random family. They get an allowance to look after a couple of the boys.
Yeah.
But I think, it's just the valuable lessons you learn early. You play against men too. So when we were about 15, 16 playing in the NPL 1 in Canberra.
So is that how it works? So you had an AIS team?
AIS team.
What you call
playing in the youth league, AIS.
AIS.
Playing in the youth league back then was like 22 fixtures, travel all of Australia.
The whole of Australia?
The NYL back then was travelling everywhere. So you played Brisbane Roar, Perth Glory, Sydney FC.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They would come to Canberra.
Okay.
So it was really good back then. And then in
so
the off-season,
basically the best players.
Basically the best, and the A-League players were allowed to drop into those fixtures. Right. Whoever wasn't playing was getting their minutes in there. So it was it was really competitive. And you played in the NPL 1 in the off-season of that.
Right.
So you played all year round? All year round football. And
who was in your team who's still playing?
Alex Gersbach.
Who's he?
He was he's at Colorado in the MLS now.
Rapids.
Liam Rose.
Yep.
Yeah. Kuzzy he's famous now. And whatnot.
Yeah.
Ben Wallen was Adelaide United now.
So some players who have actually on.
Yeah, we said players, then there's me. So some players have gone on with it. Some have completely dropped off. Yeah. I think like just full-time jobs and whatnot. Yeah. So a bit of a mixture. But I think you generally do find players through the ranks of AIS tended to go on with things.
Yeah, I actually think that it's like if you look at football overseas in Europe in particular, that's what it's like. You have systems, so it is kind of full-time football, and you do everything around your football when you get to a certain age, and that's probably what's missing here, isn't it? Like, they don't have any, like, even you look at the A-League clubs, they'll go in and they'll train most days, but it's not like a full kind of immersed in football. You look at now the obviously big clubs and there's a lot of money involved, but they'll have the kids schooled at some of the clubs.
So what happens to Sydney FC? This is just ignorance on my behalf. An NPL 1, under 20s Sydney FC team, Perth Glory team, whatever it might be. Or have Perth Glory got an under 20s team?
I assume
Yeah. So I mean, in a league, like an NPL league. Aye, have you in Western Australia?
NPL, there's some teams playing the cup here and there.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they're the U20s as well, but they're set up, right, versus the way it was set up in AIS, other than being home, like a homestay, what's the difference?
No, it's 0 to 9, mate. I came through the Sydney FC youth team, obviously. Yeah. And the training's all there and that whatnot, but at AIS you're training, you're in the gym, you're breathing football, video sessions like no tomorrow.
But surely these early clubs didn't it?
Ice bath facilities and all that you get at the AIS.
To be fair, the Sydney FC now at Sky Park, it's better. They've got.
Of course, now back then we were at Macquarie Uni.
Yeah, okay.
In the AFL change rooms.
Yeah.
Right,
five mornings of the week, and I mean it was as professional as it could be, but.
So after those sessions, you're just up the road, go home?
Yeah, pretty much. For the youth team, it was go home. For one video a week or 2 videos a week.
Yeah.
Obviously in the A-Leagues it's different. But at the AIS was video, ice bath. Your schooling was linked with your...
Yeah.
Well, there's a good video on YouTube, Billy Gilmore. It's an old video, but he was at Chelsea. It must have been, I don't know, like 8, 6, 7 years ago. And he's at Chelsea. It's a day in the life, and he's at Chelsea youth player. I don't know how, he must be 16 at the time. Similar, staying at home. He goes to, he's like, this is a day in my life. Goes to the club ground, gets his breakfast, whatever his breakfast is. Then he goes into like an analyst room, and he was basing his game off Fabregas, I think it was. So the analyst had clipped up all the Fabregas clips to his clips and saying like, this is, look at his movement, etc. Then they've got like a 45-minute window, I think, or an hour window, and they've got like a scorecard, and it's like green, yellow, red. So for instance, it's like, okay, B, you need to work on your shooting, obviously. No, look at no, you need to work on your strength, and you need to work on set pieces and long balls with your weak foot. So for 30 minutes, he'll go and work on, just on a big pitch, they get individual time, he just works on it, it's just him pinging balls with his left foot, then doing set pieces, and in the last 30 minutes he's doing a strength programme. Yeah. Then he's on the pitch for however long, then he finishes it, then he done like driving lessons within his club, and then he got taken through like a schooling system sort of thing, so and he finished like 4 o'clock. So within that day he was obviously getting his football schooling as such, plus don't get wrong, it's Chelsea, but they're just trying to see where threads are at. Again, I don't know enough about the A-League clubs and the setups and how it all works and how it's all linked, but AIS, I'd assume that was along that line, is that right?
Yeah, it was very close, it was really.
So why did it get scrapped? What was the funding?
Yeah, I think it was the funding, I think. From when I was there, I can say like the AIS did not give 2 shits about the soccer program.
Oh really?
Compared to like your swimmers, your netballers, the guys that were going to the Olympics at the time were so much more prioritised, and I guess that's what AIS is sort of for.
Yeah,
if you look at it like the Olympics. But we would have, so there's a dining hall and there's homestay on site at the AIS.
Yeah.
We weren't any of that. We were off site. We were obviously homeschool, like boarded out to families. We had access to the game room in the hall, but we couldn't eat unless our program had booked it, and everyone else could go in.
Basically.
Yeah, so everyone else could go in whenever they wanted and tap in, tap out, get their access to cereal and whatnot in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
We couldn't do that, or we weren't supposed to. Sometimes we go in with a basketball player or whatnot because we all go to school together.
Yeah.
But yeah, they complete outsiders.
Who's your coach?
Tony Vidmar, Ufuk Talay back then.
Okay.
So good coaching.
Where's Tony Vidmar now?
I think he's with the Socceroos or the Joey or the Olyroos or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think
he's somewhere over there, and obviously Wolfie's at Sydney FC.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's interesting, mate. That was one of the questions. You've got 2 cats for sure. 17s.
17s. Yeah, I was in a lot of the Olyroos like camps and stuff, but in and out of not Olyroos, young Socceroos. Yeah. And then obviously in and out of injuries and whatnot, selection. But yeah, 2 caps. We got belted.
Who'd you play against?
Iraq and Iran.
Okay. We
got smacked 5-1 against. That's the one I scored in actually.
Did you?
It was to qualify for the World Cup with the under-17s in Iran.
What was the score when you scored?
5-0.
You celebrate?
Yeah. Just imagine. Yeah, so it was in Iran. We drew Iran in Iran, like 30,000 stadium, just slamming us. But mind you, their players were just men compared to us.
Yeah, okay.
They were quicker, they were stronger. I mean, I was on the bench for most of it, don't get me wrong, but it just they looked miles above back then, which was strange because you think Iran play Australia, same age, 17, you think our system should be miles ahead, but they were way better.
What about that team? Did you have anyone in that team who's went on to bigger teams?
That team, yeah, like Danny De Silva's at the Bulls, Aaron Calver's playing in Korea, again, Gersbach, Liam Rose,
so all still in a career at football.
There's still a lot of players there in that team. But again, same situation, half of them probably don't even play anymore.
And when you were at Australia U17s, were you at AIS at that point or Sydney FC?
No, that actually got me into the AIS. So I was just a train-on with Sydney FC at that stage.
Right, okay.
With NSW, and I was sort of in that middle position where I become a Sydney youth player or I go back to the NPL.
Yeah.
And then I got the call from AIS after that that tour to go down full time.
Oh, brilliant.
Decent, mate. Good experience, though, and good to see. I mean, you played for your country. I know it's under 17s, but
Yeah,
still pretty cool.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Still got your jersey?
Yeah, I do actually.
Aye.
Brilliant,
Quite right,
man.
mate.
Yeah.
Keep that jersey as
Great.
well.
Yeah, I do.
You were promoted to first team Sydney FC in 2016, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Brilliant, we get something right. How was that? Like, how was that experience? How did it come about?
We had a cracking NPL year with the youth team that year.
Yeah.
I think even my stats were like 35 games, 30 goals, or something
Oh, right.
along those lines.
Yeah.
Me and Charles Lokalingoi,
Oh, yeah.
we're just banging them in for fun. We promoted from NPL 2 to NPL 1. We won the MYL. We won all the grand finals. And so then obviously from performances of that, Graham Arnold gave us the call up to the first team.
Brilliant.
But the experience in the first team was a bit different because they were a really stacked squad.
Yeah.
Bros, Kalosko, Ninkovic,
Yeah.
Dimitrovic, Abini, Simon, all these guys. So we got no opportunity. So basically we just mannequined for a year, which is actually where I think the rest of the players our age developed because they were getting game times in the youth or in their clubs.
So did you not drop down and play games?
Here and there, yeah, but
Mostly not.
yeah,
On the
it's
bench?
just a lot of hard training with the first team and then no reward for
But
it.
do you not
So
think you got better playing in the training sessions with the first team? Or do you just think you just needed the game time?
I think to an extent you get better, you get smarter,
Yeah.
you get more technical, you learn to be in positions on the field where it's intense and quick and you can handle it. But I think overall you need match fitness, don't you?
Ah,
You need to learn to deal with things in games, and I think that's something we probably lacked.
How is Graham Arnold?
Yeah, he was alright.
How's he coaching wise, tactical wise?
Yeah,
that was alright.
That was alright. No, that squad was stacked.
Yeah, okay.
I think a lot of the credit should go to the strength and conditioning in Andrew Clark. Have you guys heard of him?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Clarkie is like number one. He is so in and around and on top of everything that goes on in the club. And I think a lot of the success from Graham Arnold is due to Clarkie in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously he's a good coach. He's in national team.
Of course,
coach.
yeah, of course.
They won a lot, and I obviously didn't have much to do with him because I was just a number.
Yeah. Okay.
But the stats and that speak for themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
End of the day.
Well, that was from. What was the Cyprus? So you moved from Cyprus after Sydney FC?
Yeah. So actually, I went over, and I actually got a good deal with. AEK Larnaca, they played Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah. I remember you came in a gym, remember?
Yeah, so we were working out for that.
Yeah.
And I made a pretty good impression over there. I went over really fit, and it was in their pre-season, and I was smashing all the fitness records and all that over there. They don't run like we do, sort of thing. 2 sessions a week, 2 sessions a day, no problem.
Yeah.
And they offered me a contract, which is pretty big. But Sydney FC needed to waive the compensation rate, right? Waiver, have you heard of that?
Yeah, no.
It's like 60,000 per year you've been at the club.
So every year
Under the
you've been
age
there?
of 21 or 22.
So every year you've been there?
Every year you've been there, they're entitled to 60,000 in compensation. It's just a thing to stop players here getting poached, I think, without something going to the clubs.
Yeah, makes sense. Sure.
So they wanted to waive that. They wouldn't pay me. Obviously 160,000 for a kid off a contract it's pretty harsh, right?
Yeah.
So Sydney didn't do it for me. They wanted the money, and it came to a point where AEK were just like, well, off you go back to Sydney FC, and that's where I found myself at Rockdale.
Yep.
But then there was a loophole where you can play NPL and go back overseas for free.
Right. Okay.
As long as Rockdale put it in the contract, which they did for me. So I played I think it was like 2017-18 with Rockdale, had a good year in 18 and got that offer for Cyprus again from another club.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went back over and signed a 2-3 year deal.
And how was that?
I had an experience. I actually thought I should have got more game time than I did.
How many games did you play there?
I played one in the first thing, a couple cup games and whatnot, but then I went on loan.
Right, okay.
So it was a tricky one because I had the captain and leaders of the team saying, well, you need to be playing. I was actually left back at the time, but I had the coach telling me I was too young for a team playing against relegation. Right. So then I went on loan for 6 months, but this is where Cyprus got to be how you going for me. We went on loan to the second div, and towards the back end of the season, they didn't want to promote. They didn't want to go down. We had secured mid-table. And this is where results started getting preempted and whatnot. Yeah. So one experience we were playing on a Friday game against the team coming first, killing it. 0 half time, but we were not expected to be in the game. President came in and just was like, good job. Now go lose 2-0.
Oh, really?
You guys want to see your pay for the end of the month? And then they're like, me...
You'd have loved that, but you just missed chances.
Me and a couple other boys were like taken off, and some older players got put on.
But how do you lose these games? Like, how obvious is it made?
Well, to me, it's obvious because I know.
Yeah, I know, but is it like...
But I don't know that anyone else
does the other team know what's happening?
I don't think so. I think the other team's president knows because they're probably fixing it together.
What happens if the other team's so crap?
Well, I think I have seen it go wrong where there was one story that was ridiculous. This is a ripper for you both. Have you heard of Wisła Płock, the first team in Poland?
What's it called?
Wisła Płock or something like that?
Is Wisła Krakow? Wisła...
Anyway, they're a first team in Poland, and they came to play us in a friendly, which was a FIFA friendly. So it was on the sports bets and whatnot. Man, we got into our change room, and we're not even like there's players sitting in our spots. We were just rocking up for a training session, and our president has pulled together some players from
a different team.
From God knows where.
So not even signed for the club.
Then they're not signed for the club. We're in the stands watching.
So how can they sign if they're not a contract?
This is what I'm saying, right? So it's only a friendly, so like obviously there was nothing to it, but we're in the stands, and I'm getting told like from players who like the more the overseas the French players and all these boys are in on it, but they've got good relationships with the president, and they're telling us like, mate, get on your phone and put the overs. I'm like, over what? Really? And they're like, as much as you can, like sort of thing. And it's
obviously
it's
crazy. Though, mate.
No, I had no access to it. You need VPNs and stuff overseas. So I'm watching it, and it's 0-0 in the 30th minute. I'm like, wait, these guys are nuts. Like this game's not going anywhere. And then you see a guy go down from the top of the stand to the bottom, down to the keeper. A message gets sent out, and it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4-0 at half time.
What does the keeper doing? Just
mate, it's just like they're striking.
You used to play for them, didn't you?
This is this is how you know though that the other team aren't in on it, because they're just burying things. Like they're a first team side, so you give them a chance, and they'll bury it. And it's 4-0 half time. It's 12-0 full time.
12-0. You're playing Granville Range?
You know what I mean? Prospect.
12-2.
So that side aside, but that got stopped. That was in the second division, but that got stopped by FIFA.
Did they?
They got shut down. I think the league got shut down for a couple of months, and it's investigated.
That's wild.
And it's all cleared now, and I don't know. Perry probably hates me out in this, but whatever. So I think that it's all good and well now, but back then, yeah, it was a big issue, and that sort of threw me to come home.
Yeah, so you came back from there, and then you went back to Sutherland?
Yeah, so I actually went on I was with Western United for about 3 months down in Melbourne.
Yeah.
All through their inaugural games and that in the pre-season and stuff, and it just didn't work out. I got really frustrated with like getting strung along. Rudes was like, yeah, you're doing good, yeah. We'll see how we go, keep playing, and then I just got fatigued because I was playing
mentally fatigued, you mean?
Yeah, I was playing 90 in friendlies, and then doing the session with the boys who don't play the day after, which are like the conditioning sessions, and I had blood blisters, and I was just nothing was happening from it.
Feedback off the coach in terms of what's happening.
Yeah, like it was more like I think there was rumours that Berisha was going to sign.
Right. Okay.
So I'm training along, but they don't need a striker if Berisha's coming.
Yeah.
So I just got mentally ruined from it. Not bad, but I was just like, I'm over it. I want to go play. So then I came back, and I actually wanted to come to Rockdale, but a couple of the boys had called me and said like, the club's in shambles at the moment. They had no coach at the time. So I went to Salo for 8 games, and
was that towards the end of the season?
back end of the season, last 8 games, they had a good squad developed there too with Charles, Jerry Skadaris, all these guys, Liam McGing and all these boys that had played. So that's where I ended up for a bit.
And what about an Olympic after that?
Well, then that's the thing, right? So Terry Peloponus was good to me
Yep.
at Sutherland. So when a coach sort of tells, I like to try to be loyal. He said to me, I want you at Olympic. He was good to me at Sutherland, so I jumped over. But that was through a mess of COVID. And I tore my quad as well, so I played like a handful of games, nothing. But I didn't love my experience at Olympic.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a strange one. They have no home ground.
Yeah.
So we're training at Petermore, you can't leave anything there. Some players are sitting in a referee locker room, some players are in the other locker room, it's squishy in the shower.
They're at Valentine now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're at Valentine now, but like...
Still not great.
Yeah, no, it's not your home ground, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all in all, I was itching to just get back to Rockdale, which is where my heart was.
Yeah.
And that's where I found myself after that.
Brilliant, mate. We've spoke about that already. You're settled, 100 games this season, hopefully, mate. One question, Chaz, put in here, which is interesting. You're only 26.
Yeah.
That's not the interesting part.
Am I playing like I'm 30 or something?
No, he was curious if you've got any aspirations to play at a higher level, but that maybe has been answered by if maybe Rockdale go with this new league.
Yeah, no. Look, if Rockdale go to the B League, then I'll want to stay with Rockdale and see what happens from there. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about A League or whatnot anymore, only because I mean, if it comes, there was a sniff of it last year where I was playing really good football. A sniff came about, but yeah, I'm not.
Something I'm looking at.
It's not the be all end all for me. It would be hard now with mortgage work. And
Understandable. And I think that's going to be obstacles with the B League with a lot of players.
Well, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, people have got a lot to give up, so it's going to have to be like flexible. I know some people talk about training in the morning, so people can still work, and who knows what will happen there. One question I want to know, mate, is you obviously have come through a system that's no longer there, the AIS. If you could, there's a lot of boys and girls out there who want to make it, and there's no pathway really for footballers. It's just there's a lot of variables, and you don't really know what's going to happen. You just need to do the best you can. Is there any advice you'd give your younger self looking back, or advice you'd give to maybe a 15, 16, 17-year-old player who's like trying to make it, say A-League or any level, I suppose?
I think at the 15, 16, 17 mark, I think you got to give out that. I think the extras matter.
Yeah.
Those 1%ers you need to learn and implement in your game quick, smart. I think that's the main advice. I know it's a stretch of what I'm saying, but I think that's the difference between if you're here or there. Doing the 1%ers, work on yourself, look after your body.
Yeah.
The stretching and I found Pilates and all that and whatnot. What else could I give to them?
What about yourself? Anything you regret looking back, thinking, even now you're happy where you are, but if you think maybe if I'd done that a little bit different, or maybe I chose that rather than that, would be still playing professionally? Anything like that you think of? Anything you go, I should have done that differently?
I mean, I think it's tough because what happened in Cyprus was a bit out of my control, and then COVID was coming, so I headed back. But definitely, my younger self, I probably would have. I'd probably say probably take the opportunity a bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I got a bit comfortable in my ranks at Sydney FC where I had that great year, and I just assumed.
It'd always be there.
Like I'm a lock. They're gonna want me to develop through the years, but it wasn't really the case.
There's always somebody else, isn't there?
Well, that's right. So I ended up with a bit of bad ankles. I got cortisones in both of them around that time, and I wasn't playing how I was playing the previous year, and they probably saw it as comfort in getting an A-League contract, whereas it probably was to an extent. Like, I was trying to fit in with the A-League boys, and I wasn't working as hard as I probably should have been. Yeah. So that's probably where my regret lies.
It's hard, isn't it? I think from that perspective, it's difficult because you're young. You don't really know. Like, you think you've got something and you've got it, but you don't really know that that's really when it should kick in.
I think I didn't realise it was as cutthroat as it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas, like they're looking at the next boys coming up and they'll cut you like that. No matter what you did for the club, where your loyalties lie and whatnot. I think that's one thing I should have worked out sooner and been on top of. So my advice would definitely be to have worked harder once given that opportunity in the system. Yeah. But it's a learning curve.
It's hindsight in it, and also maturity. When you get older and you realise, and it's hard even talking to like a young boy, if any young players are listening to this and they'll go like, they take that advice with a pinch of salt, because how many players do you go like, mate, you need to do this, you need to do this. Aye, mate, no worries, beat it.
Yeah,
no, I think
easier said than done, isn't it? They also think they're doing it.
Yeah, of course, yeah, no, I agree. I'm doing it, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I have this conversation quite a lot. I do a lot of coaching early in the morning, like just like speed and agility work with some players, and I get down at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and there's boys there, what, 12, 13, 14, 15, even younger, bags of balls, 6 in the morning, mate. And a lot of people say, the kids don't want it enough. There's my alarm going off. The kids don't want it enough, and I'm saying to myself, well,
Lexi.
nah, it's
Team.
my team in for the wee partners group. The kids don't want it enough, and I'm like, mate, I'm seeing kids at 6 in the morning with a bag of balls before school. They're obviously trying. They just need guidance. They need a bit of mentorship. They need to know. That's why it can get frustrating looking at how, like, for instance, that AIS pathway. I don't know how the other pathways are set up, but if something that's missing that's useful, it can be frustrating to see it from outside, because you think, well, what else can you do? You see a lot of boys from, say, any of the NPL 1 clubs, they start at 12 and they've stayed with the same club all the way through to like men's senior. But then they've missed out on so much. I still don't know anything about all those 1% stuff. Still haven't done S&C stuff. Still haven't done nutrition. I was talking to this one before, another 15s girl who went to the institute, and I was like, tell her, how's your what's the nutritionist saying at the institute? Oh, we've never had a nutritionist. I'm like, so what do you do on nutrition? Oh, we get a seminar at the start of the year, and that is it. This is a 15-year-old girl.
Mental, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what, man? And she's like, oh, and she's doing an S&C program at a sports school, an S&C program at the thing, mate, and then he came to me for it as well, and I was literally like, well, there's no point in having me, and you need to get those two people to talk to each other, otherwise, and that's me talking to the parent, obviously.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your daughter is going to struggle massively, because you're getting two people who aren't talking to each other. One's at a sports school, one's at an institute, who should be interlinked. They're not communicating. This girl's doing both of them, plus trying to study, and she's not eating properly. She's knackered.
Yeah, it's hard. I think there's always with school football and NPL football, it's always a thing, is that the kids feel pressure from one and then they feel pressure from the other, and this one, they don't talk, as you say. Like, there should be some way of being like, look, we'll play our games on a Thursday afternoon and you play your games.
Your hard sessions are on a Tuesday, so when you get to you, either make it hard or we'll make it Wednesday easy.
100%, man.
Or like, there has to be a flip-flop there. I don't know how it can work. Again, it's just another problem.
I get that. For me, it's a lot of, I think people feel that what they're doing is more important. So often the child and their development's overlooked through the status of the who they're playing for or the environment.
Your session has to be good.
We're first.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing that.
There's a lot of logistics.
Of course.
It's a hard one, but again, who knows?
But ultimately, it's something that should be solved if they want the kids to perform. And
100%. I'm sure there's people who get paid a lot more money than we do doing a voluntary podcast, try to sort it out. So, right, question I've got for you, mate, a wee quick, wee fun one. If you could pick a five-a-side team from NPL players you played with, who would it be? And you can't pick yourself. Who'd be in your five-a-side team?
I can't pick myself.
No, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't be
Yeah,
no.
I'm gonna get.
No, I would pick myself actually.
Are you the fives?
I don't know.
Not bad.
Maybe not. No, I'm not bad actually in the small-sided games.
Okay.
So who I've played with?
Only people you've played with, yeah, in NPL, so none of your Sydney FC boys, or none of your separate dodgy goalkeepers either.
So I can't go like only in the NPL. Alright.
NPL we've played with, yeah. Goalkeeper, any formation you want apart from like the NPL team of the week formation. Kind of
I actually think we've got to. Oh, I hate to say it because he's a fucking nuisance in the change room this year, but
is goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper, I put him in. He's exceptional. H, our goalkeeper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think you said the other week he made a great save at the last minute against
Marconi.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
So he's our best keeper you played with? Or for fives anyway?
I think he's just fresh in my mind. At the moment, I see him. He's a nuisance.
Everyone else has been shit basically.
Let me say he's a nuisance.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But,
keeper?
So it was hard for me to say that. I put Perry Mustakis, prime Perry Mustakis. Not now. Not with two bad knees at 50 years old.
But he was good as well.
Perry was brilliant.
I put Euro up top.
Yeah, it's not a bad team so far, to be fair.
Yeah, I put Braden Sorge. Just the work rate.
I mean, he's consistent, like 7 to 8 out of 10 every week.
How many do I have there?
One more.
One more, mate.
One more?
Yeah, you've got
HK Tatsis. Do your research on Harris Gatatsis.
Who do you play for?
He was at Rockdale with me at the back end of his career, but I think he came through Olympic, Blacktown. He was a young boy at Juve. I think he went over. He said he was incredible. For a game of five-a-side, he's guy in the pitch.
Who did Perry? Is it? What? He was capped by Cyprus, is it not Perry?
Perry was
But against- no, say
12 years in the first division.
Mark Nasri, didn't he? Say
Yeah.
against France.
So see, the guy Tax's boy, where did he finish playing?
He finished. I think he actually went to one of the lower NPLs for a bit.
Gladesville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 3 of them.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
brothers.
correct.
Yeah,
Oh, was that
okay.
him? The Brawls are just like they were.
They didn't move much, but they were
Nah.
bloody good.
But
Aye.
in his prime, I take all these players in their prime, not like.
Not now.
Oh,
Okay,
so
fair.
Euro's prime.
Euro's done, man. It's finished.
Yeah. So Euro, I take the now version. Sorgi's good. Sorgi covers these three.
He's a very deceiving
Sorgi's
player.
covering the laziness of H in Euro.
Aye, for me,
That's what
Swords,
he's in there.
every time I see Swords, I think he's going to be an average player. Every time I see him play, he's like an 8 out of 10.
No, he's the most underrated player. In the
I
league.
agree, definitely, he's very good.
If you ask me who I don't want to play against in the whole league, he would be my answer because he's just a nightmare.
Oh.
Does not stop, stays low to the ground.
You're going to have hairline Kimson as well.
Huh?
You're going to have the same hairline as Kimson as well.
Yeah, soon. Fucking hell. You know why I won't? Because I'm heading to Turkey next year.
Right, well, we've got the weekend's games, we won't spend too long.
We'll just run through them quick.
So, what we'll do, mate, we'll through the games, we'll have predictions, we'll go quickly on the sort of thoughts on the games.
Yeah,
we've got a
quick
short
thoughts.
time. So, NPL 1,
Just about the big ones, you're looking at like Marconi Apia.
Marconi Apia, right, massive game. Apia's lost 2 out of 4 already, which is fairly surprising to be fair. We'll get to predictions after.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on that game? Don't need to know your predictions, we'll get to that. But any thoughts on the game in terms of how you think it will go? Things to look out for? Players to watch?
Well, I think you just.
Costanza missing?
Who?
Costanza?
I think you just expect a physical battle, don't you, in that
Yeah.
game, sort of game. You said we'll get to predictions later, so.
Yeah, St George Derby.
That's
Does he want that's just the
I think
predictions? Makes no sense talking about the game.
Yeah.
Right,
You've got to
okay.
give your prediction.
Aye.
Right, okay. So
Okay, Marconi Apia.
Marconi
Apia.
Apia.
What do you think, mate?
I'm going Apia.
Apia.
I think they're due.
Who's got the most so far? Adrian? No, you don't count. Adrian players?
Adrian. Adrian got 6, Harry Jones got 5.
So the highest score out of players so far, Adrian's got 6 out of 12.
It's like kick-off reaction thing. Do I still hold the high score for that?
Oh, that's right. You done well at that. Aye, you're very good at that. Adrian's got 6. So if you get more than 6 out of 12, you go top of the table. So you're saying Apia?
Yeah.
I'm Marconi.
I'm going to go Apia as well.
Surrey United versus Hills.
Go you starting in, mate.
Crap. Where's it at?
At St Edensor.
Is Antelmi back?
No,
not
one more
yet.
game. One more
Next.
game.
One more game. I'm going to Sydney United.
Surrey United.
I'm the same.
Oh.
Sure, I'm going to get
It was screaming draw at me.
I'm going to go draw.
Draw. Hills have started quite well, to be fair.
they
They're all
have,
tricky.
But
Scoring goals.
they're in these wild fixtures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thrillers.
It's got a lot of
100%.
goals.
Sydney FC, Central Coast Mariners.
Oh,
It depends who's dropping, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah, it's the funny games these.
Imagine I tried to figure out that information. I would get absolutely nothing right.
FC.
I'll go FC as well. So
I'm going FC as well.
who's next, Chico?
Blacktown versus Roland
That'll be a good game, by the way.
I thought that. I've actually picked quite tough games this week.
Draw.
I was going to say a draw as well. I honestly think if you pick a draw and get it right, you get bonus points, but they're too late.
It should be bonus because I'm thinking of this 6 out
They
of
should,
whatever
man.
it is.
Are you going draw as well?
I'm going to go draw, actually. It's sitting on the fence, man.
I'm going to go Wollongong Wolves.
Oh, naughty.
Rydomere versus Dunbar.
Riding them. Is that at home? Riding them?
Rydomere at home, aye.
How am I meant to know that?
NPL football, mate. This is the point of the podcast.
Right me.
This is going to.
So now the point
You need to pick first every time, so you've got no
This
guidance.
is the point of the podcast, so players who don't know these comes, now you'll check that score
Yeah.
to see if you got it right. So, what's the next game?
Dulwich Hill versus SG Raiders.
Dally.
Dully.
I'm going to go Dolly as well.
I'm going to go draw. Spartans versus Hakoah.
Spartans.
Draw.
Why are you picking a draw, mate?
They both got good players. Tough fixture.
Inter Lions versus Bonnyrigg.
Inter Lions 3-0. Right
Oh,
down.
3-0.
Cheeky.
Nico Paris free kick.
Oh, calm down. We know he's
But he'll only get on if they're winning 2-0.
I'm going to say draw.
I'm going to say Inter as well. Now, this is where you'll know most, mate.
Give me prospect.
They're not there either. Mounties versus Central Coast United.
Let me just think. Mounties.
Mounties. Gary?
Central Coast have not lost yet. Oh,
No.
but there's none. No.
No, Central Coast have lost.
South Coast Flames and Jets have not lost yet.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'll go Mounties. Mounties look pretty strong.
They do look good.
I think they've scored three or more goals in their first 4 games, man.
There you go.
There you go, aye.
South Coast Flames versus Jets.
Oh,
Both
South
these
Coast.
teams haven't lost.
South Coast.
You're saying that earlier on. Some good players, weren't you? I need to watch them last week. I want to go Jets.
Jets.
You going?
South Coast Flames.
Do the Jets drop players into the NPL 3? No chance, right?
I don't know. Honestly, no idea. I would think not.
Surely there's a risk of
Injuries.
Aye.
Waste of time.
Waste of time. Come on, man.
NPL 3, mate. Imagine being in the A-League 1 week in the NPL 3.
Oh, mate, you're actually on the bench against Brisbane Rollers tonight. Any chance you can jump into Granville Rage next weekend?
Fair. Granville Rage versus Hurstville.
Granville Rage.
Gary's going Granville Rage as well.
You know what? I always am on the fences because
Connor.
big Connors at Zagreb and I feel bad going against them. I'm going to go Zagreb.
Oh.
I went against Rage, you've let me down every week. Last week they won, to be fair. They scored 2 though.
I'm going to go Granville Rage.
Oh, look at these.
Now, big game. Parramatta versus Stanmore Hawks.
Oh, here we go. My granddad's at
Stamo.
Stanmore.
Come on, Grandpa. How's Parramatta been going?
I think they beat Camden at the weekend away.
I picked it actually. And then what was it in a West? How they been going? I know bad. It's alright. I'm going to go draw.
Draw, I'm going to go Parramatta.
And what's left? Is that it?
And that's us done. 12 scores.
Right.
I reckon I'm beating my 8 this week. I've got more
No,
than
you calm down. We're learning about the players here.
I don't care, I'm worrying about myself.
Well, the players, I think the players collectively. You might be somebody top, I think.
Definitely top.
You've been keeping the score, so I don't know.
That's why I'm top.
We'll see who's the top player. Top. What do you think at the end of the season? How many do you think should we battle out for players wise? Top
4 weeks.
Top 6. Should we say playoffs as
Same as
NPL?
playoffs, alright, okay.
Top 6. What, 30 episodes?
That's what, I don't know, 6.
And then maybe the top 6 can do the last game of the season.
I think we do 5.
Right, we'll figure that out later. Oh, in fact, figure it out now. We'll do 6. We'll do 6 out of
Right.
episode. There we go, it's done.
Done. I'm just writing number 6 at the bottom.
Last question is any boys or girls here who you fancy should be on this podcast? Good banter. Who's good laugh in Rockdale? We're not going to get another Rockdale guest on anytime soon unless Jurasevsky changes his mind.
Yeah, he's not a laugh anyway. I'm sure a couple would want to put their hands up.
Who's good crack? Anyone like funny? Or just easy, just laughs, good crack?
Again, I hate saying it, but you're probably not bad with Robbie Speranza.
Yeah, okay.
Just loud.
I don't mind that.
He's
Yeah, I
a
like
nuisance,
that.
but I think he suits something like
Yeah,
this.
cool.
Guy doesn't shut up.
Okay, that's decent.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll keep him in mind because we want to try and get one for each club.
Anyone else?
Outside of Rockdale, anyone from different clubs? Obviously, you don't know any NPL 2 or 3 players, but any NPL 1 players? Good laugh, nah, nobody? Or
No,
more?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Or NPL, nah? Don't know him?
To a podcast personal level.
Nah, no idea. Fair dues. Okay, well, Speranza, we can go
I think
Noah
he's
Speranza.
probably a safe
option. Sweet.
option. Plenty
Sounds-
to say.
We'll get Speranza and Jurasevsky on the same episode.
He'll come on and just have to know what
That's
to come up with that arsehole.
When Speranza came to Rockdale, he was telling us he likes to do these mental things with opponents.
Alright,
Hard handshakes in the warm up or not. He said when he played Euro straps his wrists. So Robbie strapped his wrists for like mental things. And Euro's like, mate, I didn't even
He's walked back into the changing room, boys. I got him, boys.
I love it because in their fixtures last year, they were both times headed like neck and neck, and then they had to come in and shake hands. They're like, hey, how you going? I'm sitting there like, oh, you fake friend.
Class. Right, mate, thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Quality, mate.
Pleasure.
Superb. Cheers.